Grace and peace multiplied, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. This is definitely part one to what I like to call history repeats itself because we did not learn from the past examples. You see that's still going on to this day. One example of history repeating itself is a few weeks ago, a young man killed 9 people in a church. I'm gonna go to the Bible on this one, and I'm gonna read Second Chronicles. Second Chronicles 36. It's talking about Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians or the Chaldeans, whichever one you want to call them, all the same. But from the 13th year of Josiah's reign as king, Jeremiah prophesied to them 10 years straight the coming destruction of the Babylonians, but they didn't listen. Check this out, Second Chronicles 36, beginning with verse 15. And the Lord God of their fathers sent to them his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. The Lord gonna dwell on this earth when he returned, not up there in the sky. Verse 16, but they mocked the messengers of God and despised his word and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy. Verse 17, therefore he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, which is Nebuchadnezzar, and that's about 605 BC, who slew their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary. And this ain't the first time in today's history. This happened. It's happened before. It's happened before. It's gonna happen again because we not teaching our children. We're not doing what we supposed to do and teaching them the laws, statutes, and commandments of God. If everybody kept the commandments of God, do you know it would not be all this killing out here? It would not be all this stealing, robbing, raping, all this evil wickedness. But ain't nobody doing what they supposed to do. I'm gonna go to the. I'm not gonna finish all of that for the moment, but I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna start at verse 17 again. Therefore he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, who slew their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon young men or maiden, old man or him that stooped for age. He gave them all into his hand. And all the vessels of the house of God, great and small, and the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king and of his princes, all these he brought to Babylon. And there's a Babylon on the physical sense, which is what this is talking about, and there's a Babylon on the spiritual sense. And Satan got the majority of the world caught up in that spiritual Babylon because he is deceiving them constantly over and over and over again because they are not keeping the laws of God. They are dealing with traditions of man, especially if they go to church on the first day of the week, which is Sunday. That's Son's Day. And matter of fact, I'm going to go to Ezekiel chapter 8 right quick. I'll show you one example of that. Ezekiel chapter 8. Ezekiel chapter 8, beginning with verse 16. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men with their backs toward the temple of the Lord, and their faces toward the east, and they worshiped the sun towards the east. That's why you go to church on Sunday, Son's Day. Started with Emperor Constantine and the Roman Catholics. The Romans, they gave you that. They got it from the Persians and the Egyptians. They were all sun worshipers. That's why the Lord told you when he gave our ancient forefathers the land of Canaan, he said, don't do like those in the land around you. Worship me only. But they worship the host of heaven, everything but the true and living God. All right, now I'm going to go to Judges, the book of Judges. Right quick. One more after this for the moment. Book of Judges. Judges chapter 2. Judges chapter 2. Let me see. No, Judges chapter 3. Verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof. Okay, well, no, I'm in the wrong one. Wait a minute. I think I made a mistake on that. Okay, no. Chapter 4. And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead. Now, you can read Judges over and over and over, and they tell you again that they knew not the Lord, over and over again, because their fathers did not teach them. Same way as going today. Now, one more thing. Second Chronicles. Second Chronicles again. And this will be last. Second Chronicles chapter 34. Beginning with verse 14. This is talking about King Josiah, one of the few good kings in the land of Israel, of the kings of Judah. Verse 14. And when they brought out the money that was brought into the house of the Lord, Hilkiah the priest found the book of the law of the Lord given by Moses. And Hilkiah answered and said to Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah delivered the book to Shaphan. And Shaphan carried the book to the king, which is King Josiah, and brought the king word back again, saying, all that was committed to thy servants, they do it. Let me skip down. Verse 18. Then Shaphan the scribe told the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest hath given me a book. And Shaphan read it before the king. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the law, that he rent his clothes. Now, as you read further on, Josiah not only rent his clothes, but he started cleaning up all that paganism and all that wickedness out of the land, because he knew they was doing it wrong, because they were not being taught the laws of God like they supposed to. You see that still happening to this day. So my thing is this. This is how I felt when I first heard the truth. Why is not nobody telling everybody this? Why is we going to church on Sunday? Why is we celebrating Easter? Why is we doing all this paganism? You know what I'm saying? You cannot get 3 full days and 3 full nights from Friday evening to early Sunday morning. Everybody know how to count. Everybody know how to count from 1 to 7. The seventh day is the Sabbath day. Even in the Spanish language, the seventh day is Sabado, Shabbat, Sabbath, Sabaoth. You know what I'm saying? But we not doing that. Well, the majority of the world ain't. So my thing is this. Hilkiah found the book of the law, but he was the priest. So what was he teaching the people? If they wasn't teaching the book of, if they found the book of the law, you know, you have to wonder, what was he teaching? Was they Baal worshipers? You know, because that's what Israel did a lot. They wanted to worship Baal and Ashtoreth, which is Easter. But I'm gonna continue this on a later time. I just wanted to hit you up with that first, starting it off, and stay strong. Grace and peace multiply to you.